Welcome Classic Rock fans to a short video detailing and discussing the new Jethro Tull album, the Zealot Gene. This of course is being released through Inside Out Music, which I believe is probably a subsidiary of the Sony Music Group. They have said, we are pleased to announce the signing of progressive rock legends Jethro Tull to the label. I would probably question whether or not Jethro Tull needs to be pigeonholed as solely progressive rock, as over the years they've had their fingers in quite a few generic pies, shall we say. But apparently, according to this missive, the Zealot Gene is ready to go and it will be released early 2022. The title does have a whiff of a central idea or theme, dare I say concept album, the mother of all concept albums. But of course we've already had that. This of course sounds intriguing. As a Jethro Tull zealot myself, even to the extent of virtually morphing into Ian Anderson, I shall certainly be buying this. Ian Anderson has said, of course, that after 54 years in the world of music recording, it's with great pleasure that I now sign Jethro Tull to a record company which reminds me in many ways of the old Chrysalis label. Both as an independent and in its later years in partnership with EMI, here are real music guys with a passion for the best and most creative in rock music. We look forward to a long and fruitful relationship and more releases to come. Inside Out Music label manager Thomas Weber states, we are looking forward to working with them on their new album, and we are sure their countless fans will be excited about it as we are. And that's an interesting point really to place before the Tull faithful, is how exactly do we feel about this new Tull album coming out. I for one am always interested in new music from Ian Anderson and co, and I think this is the first release in 20 odd years. I think the last Jethro Tull album of original material was Tull.com, JethroTull.com if I'm not mistaken. We've had a couple of solo releases from Ian Anderson, namely this one, of course the Thick as a Brick follow-up, which is rather interesting as it explores different narrative threads as to how Gerald Bostock's life may have turned out. And Ian Anderson for many years now has been very much associating himself, almost synonymous with the Jethro Tull name, even signing autographs. I got this signed on that very tour. As usual, Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull. Of course, after that we got Homo Eroticus, and there was that Spring Quartets thing that came out in 2017. Forgive me if my dates are a bit shaky. Now, of course, we get this new incarnation of Tull that have been touring the prog years, and we're getting this new album. The cynic in me assumes that the Jethro Tull label is far more bankable than just the Ian Anderson on his own. As I said, the last album we got of original material from this band was Tull.com. We did get the Christmas album, which was I think 2003, which was a wonderful year for English rugby. This Tull album, of course, will be notable for the absence of Martin Barre, bereft of his guitar stylings, but nevertheless Ian Anderson will have surrounded himself with top-notch musicians. And the musicians on this album are Ian Anderson, of course, flute, acoustic guitar, harmonica, vocals, Joe Parrish, James, guitar, Florian O'Farley, remarkable musician. Not only seen him with Tull, I saw him play with Greg Lake, wonderful. Scott Hammond, John O'Hara, piano, keyboard, accordion, and Dave Goodyear on bass guitar. So what are my expectations regarding this album? Well, Ian Anderson is a remarkable songwriter, and no doubt we're going to have lyrics that will be infused with this well-observed humour of his drawing, I think from a tradition of English satirical wit, with numerous scatological references thrown in for good measure. Well, I hope so anyway. Reminds me a lot of Ray Davies in that respect. There's already a published lyric, or leaked lyric if I may say, from this album, the title track I believe. The lyric goes, bee buzzing in your bonnet and a wasp right up the bum, a V8 under the hood, a cocked hammer under the thumb. Certainly sets a tone in terms of what we can expect from Ian Anderson and his songwriting. I mean, we saw that very much on Thick as a Brick Part 2, and of course the other solo album he did, Homo Eroticus. So this is very much going to be in that vein. Also, I think the arrangements and the musicianship is going to be top draw. I would expect nothing less of a Tull album. But I suppose the £800 gorilla in the room is what do we think Ian Anderson's voice is going to be like on this album? No doubt the arrangements on this album will be all about accommodating Anderson's voice as it is now. But well, it consists of more instrumentals, and there's no doubt about it, Ian Anderson is still a top-notch flautist and a musician, and that might well be the case, and I personally would welcome that. Maybe his vocals might be heavily phased on this album, like the acoustic bit of the Aqualung track. Give it a retro feel, dare I say psychedelic feel almost. And I must have said at this point, if you're interested in Ian Anderson's vocals or his changing voice over the years, there is quite an interesting video on my Patreon on that topic alone. Talking of voices, mine is not holding up very well today either, waking up with a dreadful cold, bit of a stinker. And there's no doubt that Ian Anderson has been struggling vocally recently, even employing guest singers when Tull performed live. Even on the Thick as a Brick 2 concert, there was that wonderful chap, he did a brilliant job. I can't remember his name, I have to check my programme. Let's find out what his name was. Same lineup as we've got now, with John O'Hara, Dave Goodyear, Florian Scott Hammond. Oh, here we go, Ryan O'Donnell, that was the chap. Wonderful, wonderful voice, and did a great job on that tour. And with Ian Anderson, age is a factor, not to mention his recent diagnosis of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So maybe there will be more instrumental stuff on this album. I would love to hear that. As I've said, Ian Anderson is still a top-notch flautist and musician as far as I'm concerned. Ian Anderson has gone on record as saying his days are numbered. You could pretty much say that about all of us, I guess, but I suppose he's feeling it more than the rest of us. He has attributed some of the problems he's been having with smoke machines that are no doubt been prevalent throughout Tull's long and illustrious career. In fact, he has said, "I spent 50 years of my life on stage with these wretched machines," telling Dan Rather of The Big Interview. "Today they are lightly referred to as hazers, as if they're somehow innocent and not damaging to your lungs. I really do believe that's a very significant part of the problem that I have." Anyway, that aside, I think we should just be intrigued that there's new music coming from Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull. It certainly intrigues me anyway. I have nothing but love and respect for Ian Anderson and the Jethro Tull legacy, and I will look forward to this coming. I shall certainly be buying it and reviewing it on this channel. Anyway, I will stop there. Thank heavens, I hear you say. I'd like to say thank you for watching. Do click like and subscribe, and check that bell please, and check the links below for ways you can support the work done here at Classic Album Review. It's always much appreciated. Just leaves me to say I hope you're all staying well, enjoying the summer, but more importantly that you keep listening.